Hey, this is Antoinette Thorns with Transistor Rodeo, where we round up the news for you. We got to talk a little bit about Judge Gorsuch. He is, I think they finished up this week with his confirmation questioning by the senators. And this interesting little factoid came out. There was a decision that he ruled on involving a truck driver who is hauling, I believe he's hauling some meat products. He's up north. It's really cold. In fact, the outside temperature when he's driving is below -20. I think it was like -27. And his brake lines on the trailer locked up. So he's traveling down these icy roads, 18-wheeler, and the brake lines on the trailer he's hauling have frozen, so he's dragging this thing around. He's running out of gas, and he's going to get stranded in the middle of nowhere because he's just on some back road in the middle of nowhere. He realizes that he's having a problem, so he calls headquarters. And he asked them, he's like, look, I'm having some problems. I need a mechanic out here. I'm not going to be able to make it to a gas station. Can you send somebody? And they said, yeah, well, hold on for an hour and we will send you a mechanic. So the guy pulls over to the side of the road. He hunkers down. He wraps himself up in blankets. You know, like I said, it's 27 below outside. So in the camper, it's not really that much warmer. You know, especially with, he can't run it because he's going to run out of gas. He needs to save that little bit of gas that he has. So he cuts off the engine and he just sits in the camper. And I guess apparently it was not heated because he fell asleep. And thankfully he woke up, because sometimes when you fall asleep in that kind of cold, you just fall asleep and die and you never wake up. Thankfully this guy woke up, but when he woke up, all of his extremities were blue. He'd be like 3 hours later, couldn't feel his feet. And the mechanic is still not there. He's going to die. The man is going to perish if he doesn't do something. So he makes a decision. He actually calls in one more time and they said that the guy was on his way, but still, he can't wait any longer. He's going to die. So he gets out of the truck. He unhooks the trailer. He gets back into the semi and he drives it to a gas station and he gets a fill up. He gets warmed up. I think the man still has frostbite on his fingers. He immediately after he gets gas, he comes back to get his trailer. When he gets back, there is a mechanic there and he's working on it. And he hooks back the truck, drove his haul to its destination. So with a slight hiccup and almost dying, still managed to deliver the product. Well, the company fired him. And it's really telling how a corporation works. A corporation is not a person. Even though it's declared a person, it's not a person. It has no personal feelings. It does not have any morals. It does not have a moral system of judgment. It's profit, it's loss, it's your fault. You left the product on the side of the road. You abandoned your stuff. You abandoned our stuff. Now you are liable. So they fired him. Okay, so he took it to court. Now, mind you, this is on his record. This man, I believe, before was a graphic designer. And then when 9/11 happened, all the graphic design work, the dot-com bubble burst before 9/11. Then 9/11 happens. And then all of the graphic designer money, as well as a lot of other businesses, died off really fast because nobody was spending money on that anymore after 9/11. Just the well ran dry. He needed a job. So he became a truck driver. It's not a glamorous job, and I'm sure it's not the job that he wanted, but he needed the money, so he took that job. He worked for them for 3 years, and everything was fine, and then this happened, so he gets fired. He starts a lawsuit, to contest being fired because it was life and death. I mean, what would you do? I certainly know what I would do. I'm sorry, I'm leaving the meat by the side of the road. I'm guessing since it's so cold outside, it's not going to spoil. Hey. He takes it to court. Of course he wins. Because every judge that this case comes before, they're human beings. They have morality. And they say, of course, you had to. You would have died. But the company, instead of settling, They just appeal it to a different court, a higher court. They did this for 7 years till finally it gets to the, I believe it's the Ninth Appellate Court where Gorsuch is working. It's the 9th or 11th appellate. It gets to the court where Gorsuch is. There are 3 judges on this court. And this case is yet tried again. That's the thing. If you're a company and you've got money, you can keep appealing it and keep appealing it. They will do anything to not pay you. They will rather pay lawyers than to pay you what they owe you. They would rather spend money, more money, fighting you than they would pay you and just conceding, hey, we were wrong. You were right. Here's some money. We're sorry. Oh, fuck that. I don't apologize to anybody. I will fight you tooth and nail until the bitter fucking end. Until one of us is dead. That is when the fight's over. So he gets in front of Gorsuch, and the 2 other judges say, of course, you're absolutely right. You leave it on the side of the road. You don't want to die. You have to save your life. This is for preservation. So the guy leaves, gets gas, he comes back, he gets the rig, everything is fine, but yet he gets fired. Take it for this court, finally, after all these appeals, it gets to this court. The buck stops here. 3 judges, 2 of them say that this man is in the right and he had every right to save his own life. The other judge, Neil Grouch, sorry, I'm going to have to side on the corporation on this one. This is who they have nominated. They have nominated a man that in the last 22 cases that he's heard, 20 of them, the last 22 cases involving a person against a company, he has chosen the company 20 times. 22 cases, 20 of the cases he decides with the company. He never sides with the human right. It's always with the company right. How do you think this man is going to make his decisions on the Supreme Court with Citizens United? He's always going to go where the money is. And he says that I'm not affected and I'm an originalist. An originalist, whatever the fuck that means. Yeah, let's figure out what Thomas Jefferson thought about international corporations because they happened all the time back in the 1700s. Yeah. Let's talk to Ben Franklin about that. Let's see what John Hancock thought about those things before they scribble their names on it. Those things didn't exist. Constitution is supposed to be a living document. It's not supposed to be looked at in its original translation. You were supposed to be able, that's what made the Constitution brilliant. The reason why it was so genius is because it could be changed throughout the generations. That's the whole idea. We evolve, the law evolves, the Constitution evolves. And here we have somebody that they've nominated who is going to always side on the company, never on your rights. What is the point of having and this guy, if he is confirmed, 35, 40 years he could sit on this bench affecting things. And the older people on the Supreme Court, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, they're the Democrats. Those are the ones who are going to die off first. The Republicans, the 4 Republicans that they have, they're generally fairly young, which means we're going to have a extremely conservative court with Justice Roberts as the head. We're going to have a conservative court for decades to come. If this guy gets in, you can pretty much say goodbye to the Supreme Court. As long as, you might be able to sneak in a social issue here and there, but most of the things that are going to come before them are going to involve corporate money and corporate personhood and human rights versus the corporation's rights. And out of the last 20 cases, the last 22 cases Gorsuch has ruled on, 20 of them he went for the company. So we really need to consider this. And if you have a problem with it, I suggest you call your senator and really let him know that you can't have this. You just can't. We can't have this. We can't have another generation of a Supreme Court that is so conservative and cares nothing about the common man. Hey, this is Antoinette from Transistor Rodeo. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe for more videos and content, and you can follow me on Twitter at Transistor Rodeo.